Hey guys, Tim here, back with another video. This one I'm really excited to share with you guys. We'll be walking through one of my old vintage binders. This one is base set all the way through Team Rocket, with some promos sprinkled in there. Really excited about this one. It's the origin of Pokemon, so I'll tell some stories about how I got started with Pokemon, the anime, tournaments, red and blue video games, everything in between. So it'll really just be a huge nostalgia trip for us all, hopefully. So yeah, let's jump into it. I'll tell some stories as well as show off the artwork, talk a little bit about the artists, and I'll also say this isn't my original binder, so this is what I got back into collecting. I recreated my, base set, what I would have had as a kid. So yeah, let's jump into it. All right, you guys, so here is the binder. Have all the way from, like I mentioned, base set through Team Rocket and then some promos in the back here. I'll just go over some of the artists. I'll do some quick call outs, and then I'll just chat and do some story nostalgia as we go. All right, so here, Hall's here. Of course, I have to shout out the base set OG Charizard, done by Arita, which, as most of you know, is a classic OG artist. And yeah, this has been reprinted so many times, but it's just such a classic artwork. So yeah, and these, they're not the best condition, but I just do like light play for the binder copies because I'm mostly focused on the nostalgia and kind of the throwback. So not super concerned about having the best quality here. Yeah, I'll also shout out this Ninetales here. Most people love the Charizard, but I actually have a huge nostalgia for Ninetales because I used it in a Pokemon card tournament. So I used that Fire Blast, which was great because you could use it, once per turn, and it does 80 damage. So, super good card in the competitive, and I did have some competitive play too. So I'll talk about that more as we go. But yeah, this one was done by Ken Sugimori, another classic artist who also did, the video game art too. So most of these you'll see are done by either Arita or Sugimori, also Himeno as we get in. I'll point those out too. But yeah, I just love this, going through this binder. It's such a blast of the past, kind of transports me back to that simpler place in time. So yeah, it's just really fun to go through here and look at some cards. So yeah, I remember, like, how did I get started? Well, it was the anime. So I remember back in I think it was 1998. I was in 5th grade, and there was an anime before I went to school that was starting. And the first episode was actually on the St. Anne or the SS Anne. And I was just hooked immediately. The characters, the story, the Pokemon, it was all really great. So I was instantly hooked. And I remember I would have to record it on VHS because I had to go to school in the middle of the show. And then I would come home, race home, and then watch the show on VHS, which was really, really fun. And yeah, soon after that, the video games Red and Blue came out in the US. So of course got both of those and played those to death. They were just so awesome. Had a Game Boy back then, and yeah, was super duper hooked. So and then the TCG came out, I think, in 1999, like close after the games, early in 1999, and of course also got hooked on those. Started playing competitively and then also collecting for the artwork as well. But like, these trainer cards here just take me back to the competitive play. We had a local card shop downtown that I would go to on Saturday mornings. I'd wake up, watch Saturday morning cartoons, and then go down to the Pokemon League to play against people, which was really fun. So yeah, this always takes me back to that time, transports me back to that kind of mindset. Super simple times too, which was fun. I think that's, one of the reasons why nostalgia is so big. It just reminds us of simpler times where, you are only concerned about getting the next pack and, building the next deck. So it was super fun. So yeah, that was base set. This next one is Jungle. Jungle, I actually really like the artwork from, even better than base set. I'll just shout out this Flareon here, done by Himeno. Another huge artist, as you'll see, like did a lot of the watercolor style too. And these hollow patterns, they're like the classic. I think they're called Starburst or something. But yeah, they're not like the Cosmos hollows, but they're still really cool. And yeah, did the Vaporeon here as well. So yeah, like I remember, yeah, going down to the local card store and playing was super fun. Got into tournaments as well. So one of the tournaments I was entered, like I mentioned, I used that Ninetales a lot. Um, and this one, I'll just point out too. So some of these are more like CG style. Keiji Kinabuchi is, I think, how you say it. Did some of these more 3D graphic style as well, that you'll see. So yeah. And have to shout out these, kind of watercolory type ones as well, are just really cool. So Himeno did these. Um, but yeah, went down to the Pokemon League, got started, really enjoyed it, and actually won a card tournament, um, and won a box of Fossil. I think it was first ed too, which is just crazy to think about if I would have kept them sealed. But yeah, I was a kid and opened them and just was looking for strong cards to build my decks and play with. So yeah, I ran a fire deck with Ninetales, using that Fire Blast every turn, which was really fun. I think Hitmonchan was also really popular in competitive too, because it had that really strong attack. So that was Jungle. Next we'll go into Fossil here. Have to shout out this Dragonite is really cool here. Another Himeno. Yeah, Haunter, Gengar. Gengar's kind of this 3D one again. Not my favorite. Don't love the 3D. But this is done by that same Kaiji person. They also did a lot of the trainer cards. Lapras here. But yeah, so did that tournament and had a great time. It was just a really fun way to connect with people, meet new friends. Also traded at school. That was such a big part of Pokemon trading cards in the 90s and 2000s, going to school. And we didn't really know what the cards were worth, but we knew which ones were good in decks and were strong. So, that was a big part of it too. It's like whether they were cool Pokemon or people really liked the art. So, yeah, there was a whole trading culture at school, which I'm sure you guys, if you were around back then, remember. But it was wild. I think they even got banned at school for a bit, because they were just so popular. It was like kind of that 90s, 2000s Beanie Baby style craze for Pokemon cards, which is fun. And they're still, unlike Beanie Babies, they're still here, which is really fun, and have actually, grown in value too. So yeah, this is that's Fossil, and then next we'll go into Rocket. Team Rocket was cool because it introduced dark Pokemon, which was really unique. Yeah, so another Sugimori art here. I remember just being floored at the time that there were different types of Pokemon too. And this set had the first secret rare in this Dark Raichu. So you can see it's actually 83 out of 82. So super historic for the time period, the first one there. And these actually have that Cosmos foil too, which have the, the more swirls and things like that. So yeah, this set was super nostalgic as well. Yeah, and this binder too, like I didn't have all these cards as a kid. My binder, my childhood binder was lost to time. Like I only have a couple cards left from it. One of them is this Nidoking here from base set 2, and the other one is a promo that I'll go into, a cool Porygon from N64 promo. But when I went back and collected them, probably 3 years ago now, I wanted to collect all the cards because as a kid I didn't get all the cards that I wanted. I wanted to open so many more packs than I was able to. My family didn't have a ton of money, so we were on a super budget for like maybe a pack a week if we were lucky. I would get to open, and the rest was done by trades. Um, so yeah, it also kind of allowed me to, experiment more, become more of like an entrepreneur and try to figure out ways to make money to buy more packs. So I actually ended up starting a slushy stand as a kid. That was like one of my first businesses that Pokemon kind of pushed me towards, because it gave me that goal that I wanted to achieve. So yeah, I really kind of attribute Pokemon to that too. It's just such a fun hobby in that way. Um, but yeah, like when I was collecting, I didn't have all these cards as a kid, but like I wanted to master set them to kind of, experience something that I didn't really get to have as a child. And not to get too far into the psychology of it, but I think that's, also a big part of nostalgia, is just like, experiencing something and giving that inner child something that you didn't necessarily have as a kid, which is really fun. And then also just takes you back to those timelines too. Squirtle here, love this kind of like more dark style. So this is done by Nishida, another classic artist here. But yeah, then we'll get into the promos. So I didn't collect all the promos for these, just kind of the highlights, and ones that gave me nostalgia. So like this one I think was a Pokemon League one here, which the Pokemon League was great. Like you would go down, you would get points for attending and then winning as well. And then if you got so many points, they gave you cards, which was really cool. So gave you something to work towards. And then these were movie promos that had that, gold stamp, which is really cool. So you can kind of see. So yeah, these were great. The Dragonite's kind of like that special delivery Dragonite here, which is great. Love that, nostalgic one. And this is the cool Porygon that I mentioned that I found in my dad's attic a couple years ago. And yeah, I think this came from N64 Pokemon Stadium, but as you can see, not the best quality, because it was in, the super humid, hot attic, so it actually had a little bit of, but I'll probably never get rid of that card. It's just such a memory and something from my original childhood collection that's probably gone for forever. No idea where that went. Mew here, another promo, and I have there's the Cosmos, and then the regular one as well. Yeah, and this Venusaur one. This is the old Game Boy style art here. So yeah. The birthday Pikachu, done by Himeno as well. Look at that cool swirl on there. Yeah, I love these cards. And then Entei and Pichu. These are kind of unique because they're the reverse hollow Cosmos as well, similar to like the Southern Islands, which if you guys haven't seen, I have a whole binder walkthrough of my Southern Island collection. Feel free to check that out on my playlist in my channel. Yeah, those are super cool. And then of course the Ancient Mew. This one is also very nostalgic, and I have the card that goes with it, kind of explaining more about it. Talks about the league as well, which is really cool. Yeah. Let's see, and then the last page here. Just a few of the promos, not all of them. There's a ton, and right now they're pretty expensive. So, like you can see, these are not even the original promos. These are like the, I think, evolutions. But I just wanted the artwork for nostalgia, like Surfing Pikachu and Flying Pikachu, as well here. So, yeah, really cool. But yeah, that's my binder. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just love the hobby and the community it fosters. It's a great way to connect with people. Made some of the best friends in the hobby. And yeah, it just really takes me back to that simpler place and time too. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you liked it, please consider subscribing, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.